Welcome to another episode of Grief Heals, the podcast where we explore how it is that grief heals us with our relationship with ourselves, with one another, and our whole wide world. I am your host, Lisa Michelle Zega, and I am excited to have another conversation. Welcome to another episode, of Grief Heals in 2025. It's just wild to me that this is the third episode of a new year. Oh, and already so many blessings. What I am learning about slowing down is how much my heart naturally feels, how much more I see. And I guess maybe that's part of this whole grief thing is grief arrests us. Like it literally comes, well, I guess it doesn't always come sudden. Pardon me. There was something on my lip. There's something about entering our losses that is just naturally slowing us down. And I don't know, maybe I'm thinking about the abruptness of the feelings that come up, the incidents that happen that all of a sudden change our lives like forever. I have been practicing slowing down. And one of the treasures that was given to me right as 2024 is coming to a close, because I'm recording this in 2024. Yes. And knowing that it will be released the third week of 2025. My brain, I'm like, what do you really know? Do you know? Do you know that? Well, no, I don't know, but that is the plan. Is that this will release on January 20th of 2025. So, but the book, The Hidden Messages of Water, and the number one message I would say of this author is that water reveals its glory, its beauty, its message in the message of love and gratitude. And if you don't know about this book or this work, water crystals are being recorded, and they are being recorded and photographed like when the water is spoken to, or there's messages of love given to the water, and what crystals form, or when water is told other messages that are not preferred, like "you fool" or "I will kill you." And the way that the images revealed in the water are chaotic and blurred and separate and disjointed. And this morning, I was just struck because a teacher wrote to the author of the book, and no, was she a teacher? I I think she's just a mother, just a mother. I think she's a glorious mama. And she writes and says, I know that there's a difference in how I approach my children. If I tell my children, just do it, versus let's do it, and the difference in their spirit. Well, what she said is that she knows that the way children are spoken to impacts them the way that the water is impacted. And the way that it impressioned me was like on a cellular level, like that how we are treated and how we treat others like deeply, deeply matters. And I found myself just mm, just thinking about the ways that I, as a young mama, rushed my precious boys, and how often my body, my nervous system, my emotional state was dysregulated, and I would act in such a way that was rushed and chaotic and forceful and just trying to take control of my experience and, in essence, push it away. I wanted to just feel better, to get from feeling bad. And if you are listening and don't see the expression, I put that in air quotes, to feeling good, also in air quotes, again, right? And that message of like you've got to get as far away from the bad feels and enter the good feels, what that does is keep us from allowing ourselves to feel exactly how we feel. And when we're kept from feeling exactly how we feel or becoming present to our one precious self, we become disconnected. And in our disconnected, dysregulated state, we often, let me just speak for myself. I often seek control or dominance in some kind of way. And I'm removed from who I am or how I feel. And the impact of that tends to be that I'm removed from how others feel. Just this morning, like this is I'm going to say a minor example. And then there's another part of me that says, is it a minor example? Is that a thing? So I'm in the country in Texas, and every morning my dogs play together. And the big dogs, Millie, who is a lab, she's about 10 years old, and Bella Blue, who's an Australian shepherd, and she's 2 years old. And these girls love, love, love to play with each other. And they run to the far reaches of the property. And if they get behind the barn or to the back pasture before I get there, I will begin to call them, right? And they often are having just too much fun to come. Now, if you're a dog trainer, you might have thoughts about that, but let's just say they're having too much fun. Well, then Bella will come. Bella is she comes pretty good, but Millie, she doesn't. And so this morning I'm calling, and I really make it a habit to call them with the love and gratitude of just being with them. And still, Millie, come, right? And then today I was wanting to move on to other things, and I was getting increasingly frustrated. And so was my tone. And I heard myself call to her in this angry voice that felt really icky. It felt icky in my body, right? And I felt disconnected from myself. And I just took a moment to breathe in and then to call Millie and go look for her. I ended up going and finding her. And then, when she could see me, she comes fine. But once she's out of view, yeah, all bets are off. But I was just reflecting on how I spoke to this precious puppy this morning. And then when I was reading the book, and this mom wrote to the author, and it got me thinking about, whew, my own being a mother and what my children endured as I sought to control them so that I could feel better. And I wasn't like condemning myself. I was just kind of sad. I was with the loss of, wow, really wishing I could have remained present to the preciousness of my sweet children, not mine, but the children that I was entrusted, right? So that I could raise them and help them to discover the beauty that is each of them, and how often I wasn't present to my own beauty. And so, of course, I was disconnected from theirs. So I was thinking about the power of grief in slowing us down, the gift to slow us down to become present. And when that happens, it can feel like there's no, like the grief is not going to end, that it's going to swallow us, that it doesn't have a bottom. But what actually happens is it's not like a bottom. It's like a continuum on a circle. It's like we don't go down and down and down to never emerge. We go down and around and up into the beauty of who we are and who one another are, and the connection in our whole big wide world. So just yesterday, I made a comment reflecting on a period of time where someone very dear to me treated me like an enemy, like a genuine enemy that they felt that they needed to destroy to protect themselves. And my mom said, "How can someone who has declared year after year that they love you treat you like that?" Oh, and I just felt her words. I felt her inquiry. And I think actually I answered too soon. You know what I wish I would have said? I wish I would have said, "How do you think that happens? What do you think about that?" But alas, I tend to be really quick with an answer. I'm learning, I'm growing. So anyway, what I did say was, well, when someone is hurt and they're not really present to their pain, they're just present to not wanting to feel that way, all bets are off, right? I see it in my own life. I've seen it time and time again, countless times in the lives of others. It's like we tend to not be self aware when we're reacting to pain. Now, responding to pain, I think, is a different thing. It's like, oh, I'm becoming present to the idea that, ooh, I'm hurting. But if you think of an animal that is trapped, right? If someone who is even caring for the animal reaches their hand into that trap, that cage, whatever, um, the animal will often lash out and do harm, right, to the person seeking to tend to their wounds. Why? Because the animal's not thinking, well, what does my lashing out do to you? How, what, I'm not worried about clawing your arm open and puncturing your skin and ripping it open. Like, that's not part of the concern. The concern is staying safe. Well, I think that's what happens is people seeking to stay safe can sometimes do harm, right? And that's even my stories about raising my kids. And there's a particular memory that comes up when I think about this. We were going ice skating of all things. My youngest, who was, get this, 3, was getting ice skating lessons. Maybe the 2-year-old was too. Were they 3 and 2? Were they 4 and 3? Well, and then baby, my little baby. And and I'm like so stressed that we're going to be late for this gift of ice skating lessons. And I'm rushing them and I'm demanding them to, why are you doing this to mama? Why are you making us late? Like, put putting that on a 3-year-old, 2-year-old in my care, and the weight of that story. Mm. And when I enter in, I wasn't thinking about them. I wasn't thinking about the impression, the mark, the picture, the way that this was altering them from the inside out. No, no, I wasn't thinking about imprinting my children with chaos. I was thinking about trying to feel better, trying to regain control, trying to regain a sense of, oh, control's not right, that quite the word I'm looking for, but I was trying to come back to center in some kind of way, get myself calmed down. But my method of calming myself was controlling them. So, and it's in becoming present to our present, that slowing down, the noticing. Oh, such love and gratitude emerges for me when I slow down. This morning I was in our closet. My husband's like a super big guy, big man, right? Like a giant of a man. So guess what? Giant men wear giant clothes, and his clothes take up a lot more space in the closet than mine. So it often feels like my clothes are squished together. And I get irritated sometimes when I'm trying to pull my clothes out. And this morning, I was just really slow. And in that slowness, noticing all his big clothes. I reached my arms out. I put my face in his shirts. I gave thanks. I sent love. And then when I got my flannel out for the day, it felt good, felt cozy, felt warm, and just so much gratitude. And I think that's the power of slowing down. Like, if I can picture myself, that young mama, slowing down that we might get out the door. You know what I can feel? Oh, so much love. So much love for those boys entrusted to me to care for. I can feel so much joy, so much gratitude that we're going ice skating. Yeah, we're going to go ice skating. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to get there when we get there. There's something so powerful about slowing down that we might notice how glorious even our grief, even our pain, even the ripping open of our hearts, how glorious it is to feel exactly how we feel. And when we slow down, love and gratitude emerge. for this moment in all of its complexities, for the life that we enjoyed, for the gifts. Doesn't make it like slowing down is brave. It's brave. It's courageous. It's magnanimous. This is not to discount. This is to expand and be with. It's like a coming home to ourselves, to our neighbors, to the whole wide world of living, of life, of the living. Yeah. So, lots of road noise. Just giving thanks for all the life represented in all the sounds we can hear. Yeah. Maybe just take a breath with me, because we breathe and we breathe the same air. Yeah. Thanks for joining another conversation. Would love, love, love to hear from you, how you've experienced grief, how you've experienced that grief heals, how you've experienced the courage of entering exactly what you're experiencing right here, right now, exactly as you are. Until next time, if you're open, we can open wide our arms, bring them around, give a good squeeze. Yeah. Oh, that we're just here together, breathing in our oneness. All right. Mwah. I look forward to hearing from you. Until then, I hope you notice whatever it is. You notice.
You've been listening to Grief Heals with Lisa Michelle Zega. The podcast is produced by me, Eric Simpson, in association with Jump Up and Down Productions. Music by Ken Delian, Drunken Nights to Sunday Mornings, and Stefan Carlin, A Calming Ocean, A Common Notion. If you would like more information about the work Lisa does, point your browsers to legityou.com. That's LEGITYOU. Lisa can also be reached at lisamichelle@legityou.com.